with Jada Pinkett Smith.
Right.
Naked podcast.
Actually, this is the Naked Podcast. So good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're watching from. This is Laura Thompson. You tuned into the Naked Podcast. I'm your friendly general manager and creator of TAN TV, the African American Network. We have a local feel and a global reach, and we have a great show planned out for you today. It is something that a lot of you can probably relate to. But before we get into what we're going to be talking about today, I just wanted to remind y'all about the show that we had last week. Mm-hmm. It was really a hot show. Yes. It's still on the platform, so you can still go and watch it. But it was we had a young lady in here.
My BFF forever.
Yay! And she has an online business called Secret Desires. Mm-hmm. And so I just wanted to say to the fellows, even though it's after Valentine's Day, that this is a great place to shop for your wives, your girlfriends, your significant others. And it's something that would make them feel beautiful and loved, and also make you happy as well. And so we just wanted to reiterate that. Men, you can go on and shop on Secret Desires website and check out some of the lingerie and pick out some really sexy things for your wife. The other thing is she's coming out with a men's line as well.
And swimsuit.
Yes. Yeah, so that's coming down the pipeline.
That's right.
And so I just wanted to give her an additional plug because her work is so awesome and outstanding. But today, we're going to be talking about another hot topic. But before we do that, we're going to introduce ourselves. So
I'm Shaniqua Staples, now James. And that's going to be my last time saying it, I promise. I promise.
It's been 3 weeks now.
I know. I'm just saying. My license still, it's in the mail, I think. Anyways, hi, I'm here. And by now you should know a little bit more about me, but just a little breakdown. Therapist, San Antonio, dogs, kids, husband. In a play with Miss Nikita. That's about it.
Woo. Oh, okay. My name is Nikita Mcclure, and yes, I am a local poet here. I'm an activist, again, for people that have special needs, and I'm also a dementia practitioner. So I work with people that have Alzheimer's. So awesome. I'm happy to be here.
Cool.
Her name is Nikita.
Oh, girl, I don't get nobody's name right. No one's surprised.
I never correct.
Exactly.
Why are you
so it doesn't matter.
Oh,
still
Lord.
Nikita.
That's her nickname.
Thank you. Yes,
right.
everybody has nicknames.
I guess, girl. Anyway, I'm Shalonda, a.k.a. Lonnie Mac.
Me and Shalonda will break up after this. I hope everybody knows.
No, I love you. She's
Is
fine.
that
I love
how
that
girlfriends
shirt.
break up?
right. So yeah, I'm finally 100% disabled veteran. And something that nobody knows here at this table is that I am working with another organization to help notify and educate other veterans on what services and what benefits are offered to you in Texas. Like, I didn't know my student loans was getting paid off, child, after 100%. I'm happy. So,
what?
Yeah.
That's not fair.
That's good.
Yeah. Oh, it's fair. It's fair.
Right, exactly. It's really real.
Yeah.
Okay. And so these are Shaniqua's invited guests. So she's going to.
Yes. So we have here today, we have Miss Fatima, and we have Antonio's. We have the Keys. They are a married couple, and they're just amazing people. I really like how what they're doing is basically combining their passions, making it into one so they can spend more time and have that healthy relationship. And that's what we're talking about today is like, how do you have a healthy relationship with a blended family. So thank you again for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. So tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Okay. I'll let you start.
Oh, okay. Well, my name is Fatima Keys. I'm a licensed professional counselor and a licensed chemical dependency counselor. I specialize in mental health, helping people, give them the tools for like anxiety and depression, and also do fitness. Secondly, we're working on our business Keys to Success. It helps people kind of balance mind, body, and spirit. That's what she was talking about, as well as us blending our skills so we can spend more time together, because he's more in the fitness and I'm more in education, educating people about mental health and things. He's also a special ed teacher, but didn't you want to introduce yourself?
I was going to, but hi, I'm Antonio Keys. Again, I'm a special education teacher, as well as girls basketball coach.
Nice.
Yep. We are in regional finals, by the way. So
What school?
undefeated at BCA, Brooks Collegiate Academy. So super excited about that. Oh yes, and we're undefeated. So we'll continue on. 2 more games before state. So really proud of the girls. They're doing a really good job.
Wow.
Also, we're like I said, co-owners of Keys to Success. I'm more fitness, group exercise, fitness performance, especially coming from a background of sports, in particular some arena football, professional arena football, and stuff like that. Collegiate basketball and football. So sports has been my upbringing. So for us to be able to kind of correlate the two together, it's been a good tandem so far.
Wow, so y'all blending professions and blending families, huh?
Yes, we're blending.
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty
And I
cool.
just want to say, because I work with them, personal trainer. So hopefully in the next couple episodes we'll see some change. I won't look the same.
We already see it.
Thank you.
I've
Maybe
already
she's gonna come
seen
on
it.
wearing lingerie
Yeah.
too.
She's been good.
Maybe Josh can do something with that. We'll see what they can do. But like literally, they really focus on the spiritual and fitness. Like that was the first time I ever had a workout where it was spiritual music, worship music, and going into the fitness and just having that, spiritual motivation while you work out. It was great. So really, really like it.
And just to expound it, because I got my ministerial license at the Potter's House in Dallas, Texas. So by me being able to just incorporate those that have that, that belief, that governor, for them, it's a added thing as well, enforcing that motivation, what you believe in. And so I'm just there to encourage it and to get it out.
Wow, so how long have y'all been doing that?
We just started it. I mean, yeah, we just put it together. We've been doing it.
independently?
Yeah.
But we just started merging them together, because everything goes together. Mind, body, spirit is all part of being a healthy individual. So we're like, wait a second, we're all doing the same thing. So we couldn't decide about, I do this business, you do the business. Like it goes together. So that's kind of what we kind of just started merging it together probably in the last 6 months.
Wow. So where y'all located?
In Universal City, Texas.
Oh, that's close to me.
Yep. Very close.
Might
Good
switch
Good
over.
location too. Good location.
So that the name of your business came from your last name, huh?
Correct.
Oh my God, I just
Correct.
realized that.
Yes.
Yes.
That's so,
So
cool.
it works. And so
I'm not going to do Shalon like you do me.
Yeah.
yes.
This is
Yes.
Success.
Yes.
That's what kind of name it success. Our definition of success is kind of a balance
I
of
love
life.
that.
Some people say that, it's about making all this money
Mhm.
or this notoriety, but we kind of think it's just creating balance.
Yes. Yes.
I had a man tell me one time when I was younger, he said, commit yourself to something and the money will come. And
Yes.
so the money is part of it, but it's not the purpose of it.
Yes.
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 Yes. Your passion. I think anything you choose to do because you want to do it, right? You don't get up, oh my goodness, I gotta go to work. It's kind of like, oh yes, I get to go to work.
Right.
So it's good.
And we get a chance to work with each other. So that
Yes.
makes it even better.
Yes, thanks.
Yeah.
We
So-
encourage each other.
Yes.
We're a good team.
So how long have y'all been working together? Just the 6 months or?
No, that's as far as our business was. But as far as working together, we've been doing this for years. Like ever since we met.
Yeah, we met coaching.
We met coaching.
Coaching. Like
Wow. Okay.
Little League kids.
Right.
So we kind of always kind of worked out and did things together
I can
into the
feel the
community.
connection.
Wow, yeah.
Feel the love.
Yes.
Feel-
number
See
is
it?
over there coaching. You better sexy.
Well, so I ends up to Fatima because you said that, but that's not how it went down. It's a really interesting way that it went down. If y'all want to share some.
You mean how we met, or?
Well, I know how you guys met because Shalonda said, oh, you cute, this and that third. But that's not how.
Oh yes, I thought when I first saw him, because really, honestly, and I'll just be a little transparent. Getting real. I really didn't deal with any men for over a decade. I didn't deal with men. He's like, oh goodness, I didn't deal with any men. And I saw him. I was really attracted to him. I was like, wait, this is wow. And he was like really kind and soft spoken. But I saw him. I was like, no, he looks good. I'm not even going to mess with that. I just want normal regular life. I don't want all this pressure and all this other stuff. No. But he was really a kind. I was like, there's something wrong. And I kept trying to figure out what is wrong. But he did have a lot of fans, though. He did have a lot of fans. He did have a lot of fans. He had some different women. So he did when we first were dating.
That's true.
Well, you won.
I won.
Cool. So y'all are here to, at least that's what Shaniqua told us. You were here to talk about how you deal with your blended family, and I don't know the dynamics of it, but maybe you can explain a little bit about it.
Sure. Well, that is still a work in progress. I mean, because it's continuous. They're older, but my kids are in Mississippi, and so by being in Mississippi, I was traveling back and forth. I worked for the airlines. So on top of that, I was working for the airlines for 6 years. Okay. So for that 6 years, they would come to me, I would come to them, or mostly I would come to them, didn't necessarily come to me. Mm-hmm. And so it just also depended on the relationship at the time with my ex, and how was she dating someone at the time, or was she not dating someone at the time? Because when she was dating someone at the time, I was freely come, freely go. I'll meet them, I'll drop them off. And then when it's not, it was where like, we're not going to honor what was written. We're not going to do this and that. So it had its challenges with that. So it was, that's when, it became the focal point. So it's like, let's stick back to what was working and what was not working. So that had its set of challenges too as well.
Wow. So how long have y'all been married and dealing with the blended family?
9 years. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, going on 9 years.
So they kind of grew up with you.
Yes. Yes. And by them being teenagers now, they're doing their own world, now. So it's not like, even with what's written, they're teenagers. And so they want to, and they're girls, and a couple boys as well. But the girls in particular, the oldest, they want to do their own thing. They don't want to be around daddy when daddy was younger. I mean, when they were younger, well, I was younger too, but, and they were daddy girls. So by me being affectionate, I always hug my girls, tell them I love them all the time. And so I would show that type of love to them. So we kind of had definitely a different bond than necessarily the dad that was like, take your money, go. Mine was more like, you come hang with dad, And so, but as they got older, they want to do their things with their friends.
Of course.
So
yeah.
how did they take to you? Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
Okay. She's like, we about to get into that right now.
It's getting real. Nice side of it. Well, the struggle, I can tell you, was definitely different because my dad and I are very, very close, but his love language is, here you go, here's $100. So I didn't have the kind of like cuddling. So when I would walk by and I would see them like cuddling on the couch, it was a struggle at first for me because I'm like, where do I belong here? Do I sit on this sofa? Do I just kind of like get with them? So it was like, it caused a lot of like kind of animosity. And I think it was a lot at the beginning, it became into like, it was a competition kind of, because they wanted their daddy. They didn't get to spend a lot of time with their daddy because they were out of state. So then when it came, it was like I was there. So it was like, what, do you want me to leave? I just was kind of on the side. So that was an obstacle, like a huge obstacle that we overcame. And I still think that now that they're older, they kind of feel kind of like I took something away from them. Mm-hmm. Still to this day, I still think, and that's still a struggle.
So how do you feel about them?
I love them. They're teenagers, so they do the rolling of the eyes and the head popping. Mm-hmm. And
my 5-year-old does that now. So.
And their love language is buy me stuff, buy me stuff, buy me stuff. And mine is time, time, time. So that's kind of like a clash too, because they want to do the, when I was raised, I think when you kind of have kids when they're younger, yes, the hair, the nails and all that's expensive. Yes. That's nice to do, but it's not like
every time this is what we have to do to show that you care and you love.
You're looking at quality.
Yes, I'm looking at quality time. Let's doing things together, sitting out. We would go work out together. They're like, no, I want to go to the mall and go shopping. That was kind of
So
the thing.
how did you two, so once you saw that, this was this animosity, how did you two have that conversation? Like, did you bring it up to him? Did y'all see something? Did something happen? Like, when did you share to him how you were feeling?
Well, I didn't know if I could because I thought it was wrong. I thought what I was feeling wasn't right. And then, of course, I started looking at myself. I was like, wait a second, I need to say something. So I talked to him about it. And at first it was like, he's like, these are my girls. This is how we speak. And I didn't understand because I wasn't raised that way. So I was like, well, do you have to sit there and cuddle? That doesn't look normal. I mean, cuddling like on the sofa together, watching a movie, just to me, it was, I don't know. And so he kind of had to break it down to me because I didn't see that. Right. So we had our conversation and he understood. And so I think it became, after the conversation, I think it was more awkward though, because then he would be caught in a position, okay, I know my wife feels a certain way, the girls, what am I going to do? So, but it worked out. It's working out. So they're older now. So,
but how did y'all get through it? Like, was it prayer, the communication?
Oh yes, we definitely
got through it.
Oh yes, we got through it. We definitely prayed
for
about
other
it.
Couples.
Yes, we prayed about it. It's about understanding. You have to understand and be there and be present and understand. Because if I didn't know, so like I said, I had to do work on myself because first I was offended. Like, this is not normal. And I was like researching, is this normal to be there? Because I was really researching it.
I wanted to add, so
strange.
I know that you just gave me your perspective from like the stepmom, and I think that's so interesting because I have the perspective from the daughter. So I was a huge daddy's girl, cuddling, love, affection. My parents were divorced when I was 18, and so his new wife, who they were dating while my mom and dad were married. So we're just like, oh, you're the homewrecker. I mean, now that I'm older, I understand. They kind of told me more about the situation, but at the time, I'm just like, why is he trying to like throw this woman down our throat? Like, what do you like now? Yeah. I felt like she was taking my father away from me because when she was married, when he was married to my mom, it was not like that, But when she came into the picture, he was like, this is my wife. Y'all gonna respect her. Well, his girlfriend, y'all gonna respect her. And like, she's always, I'm like, can we just go have lunch together? Why does she have to come all the time? It got real bad. She slapped me one time and I tried to fight her. And he was like, well, you in her house. Like, I'm like, Dad, really? So, I mean, we're a lot better now, but it was bad. Yeah. So I understand from your perspective because I talked to her now, like, we're fine. I'm like, we don't even care about our dad. You come to come visit us. So, but yeah, it was a long road. So I understand how you're feeling.
And his personality is definitely not he's very like the guilt because the distance. Because, I don't want to just say they can't because they're down here and I don't get to spend that much time. So it was the guilt. So it was kind of like, I didn't want to put him in those positions. I wanted him to spend the time with the girls because they do only come at a certain period of time. So I had to like tell my mind that they don't get to see their dad and that's just their time to process it.
So do y'all have kids together?
We have a son.
Yes, we have a son.
Okay, so how do they get along with the girls?
He gets along. He gets along.
Yeah.
They get along. They all get along.
Okay.
They think he gets on nerves. He's 8.
He's there.
I was about to say, that don't sound right. A teenager with a little boy? Nah, I don't think so.
They annoying. My son does call them and they kind of like, they do the hang up because he's 8. It's having a mature conversation.
But they don't fight each other or anything like that. But they definitely like, are you being a pest? Dad, getting too much. Get you. Go on. But they get along real well, and he enjoys them, and they all enjoy each other, especially when we get together as a family. And so
how do y'all celebrate holidays, and how does that work out?
Well, like I said earlier, when they were younger, they would come and stay. They would come and order what the decree, what it was and stuff. So we go by those bylaws. So and it would go as planned. But as they became teenagers, it was more as if. Well, maybe not. I don't want to go. I said, well, listen, you with your mother, can you come and spend your time with me? This is my time, and so like, but then they may be involved in some activities and stuff like that. So that was definitely, way heavy on me because I didn't get my opportunity to spend as much time with them as I would like. But I had to respect the fact that they were growing, they're becoming more of themselves. And then also, I would say, as like I said, teenagers, they just ready to do what they're going to do.
I know when I used to ride everywhere with my dad, and then one day I told him, "Nah, I don't want to go," and he was like, "What? You better get in this car." I said, "No, I don't want to go."
Right.
So
the teenagers.
Are your boys the same way as your girls when it comes to time and relationships?
The boys are right over here. I mean, they with her. So I guess because I'm cool with boys. We're good. I mean, my boys, I like, let's go to work, let's do what we have to do. But then they would mostly come and communicate with her. So they wouldn't necessarily, and I'm thinking I'm open because I can talk to the girls, but I can't talk to the boys per se. So she can talk to them. And so I would be like, so you mean I'm working this boy out and stuff and everything. He can't say anything to me about what's going on, and so it'd be like, Dad, but
she is a counselor.
Yeah, but I'm a minister. I'm like, I can talk to me, come talk to me. I'll try to, with them, but the boys.
Be hard with them 'cause they're boys.
I do. It's a combination. So the girls, they, daddy's girls. So it's a difference. But yeah, so if I need to know something, I have to go through her. I have to go through her. So that's kind of how the role has been.
I have a question. Because I hear y'all and y'all so similar to my family. It's so crazy. So I feel like my dad still needs to have a conversation with my mother, right? They never had that final conversation. I did exactly. So I don't know exactly what happened, but do your kids ever tell you do they care? Like, is there closure there?
Yeah, it's closure. When I say closure, as far as the kids and I, or the parent and I.
The parent, because I still kind of hold it against my dad. I actually both of them. Like my mother still is very bitter and sad about everything.
Okay.
I'm like, you need to apologize to this woman.
But here's the thing: she had a relationship, and for that like extended period of time, 9-10 years or whatever the case may be, it's just as when they separated. Or when that relationship didn't work for her, and then that's when it became an issue. So initially it was fine. It was fine. We've had that conversation. We talked about, hey, you do you, I do me, and let's make sure that we try to get them in a healthy situation. Right. So that was the main focal point, and that was the point. But like again, it was where if her relationship didn't go well, and I don't want to forth it out, but that's just how it was. Right. It was just a situation where I'm not going to do that, and now I want you to communicate to me, and not necessarily me communicate with the children. So she's making the decision. Where initially, when they were dating, I can make the decision directly with the kid, and we can do that. But when it wasn't going well, it became an issue. And so that's when her and I would have issues because, I'm communicating with her and it's not, why are you communicating back with her? What's the situation with that? And so it became imbalanced with that. But again, as they became teenagers and stuff, I can still communicate with them and they'll know where I'm coming from than necessarily me communicating with her. And then it's limited. Now they have a kind of a broader perspective because they're older, and it works that way.
It takes a lot of understanding and acceptance and maturity, a lot of different things to make those things.
Yes, yes, and it wasn't easy, and it's not. It's a balancing act that you have to really, really be intentional.
So are the boys, are they in the same family with the
Yes.
the daughters?
Everybody's in there except my oldest boy. He's not. He's in Hattiesburg. And so he's the one there's no issue with, with her, with his mom. So that's not, he comes and stuff, but he's more now sports, and there's football teams are very successful. So he's being recruited and stuff. So he talks to me, we talk, and we've gone on recruit trips together. So it's definitely a good relationship in comparisons to, when she's not talking to someone. So
I understand that. Because my my oldest son's father, our relationship's fine. I think it's because the fact that, we were so young and we kind of all grew up together. And he's married too, but we're all good. Well, I'll take that back. So this is what happened.
Okay.
In 2 minutes or less.
In 2 minutes or less, really fast. What happened was I was young, I was stupid, and what did I do? I pushed his girlfriend. This is his now wife. This was like 10 years ago when she hosted against me. I was
Wow.
young. I was 21. I was mad.
I know this side of Shaniqua.
I can't see it.
But now we have a good relationship. But my daughter's father, my ex-husband, it's the same thing. It's kind of contingent on what's going on in his life and what him and his wife is going through. And that's how the relationship in regards to communication for our daughter is. So I understand that.
Yeah, and I just make sure that when that transpires, that we're good. Like, reassure her that we're good, and to make sure the communication is good, because that was once upon a time it wasn't that way. But I had to wait a minute. This is the focus. As far as what's in home, and making sure that's squared away first and foremost.
Wow. So we got to continue this conversation on another show, because this is very, 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 very interesting. And it's very needed for families to kind of help them to sort things out.
Yeah.
So you've been tuned again into the Naked Podcast. And it's not what you think. You may think you know, but it's not what you think. So thank you both for coming out. Thank the Keys.
They are awesome,
y'all. They're learning and working out and sharing the keys of life in San Antonio community and Universal City. So we're so happy that you came out to speak with us, and thank you, Shaniqua, for inviting them. And you've been tuned into the Naked Podcast. Ciao.
Thank you.
Follow us on Tan TV. You know, y'all can check out the Naked Podcast on Roku, all Android devices, Apple devices, Fire Stick, and online at www.tan.tv. So check us out.